Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Mr. Scary Muffin back, and Julia's here, which means we're doing Pokemon stuff today. How are you feeling today?
Pumped.
Pumped! Alright, so this series is going to be a bunch of matches from a recent League Challenge, which is the new entry-level tournaments. We used to have the Battle Royals, but they got changed. They're called League Challenges now, and they pop up all over the place, and people can play them. They're pretty low-key, casual stuff, but competitive people still play because there are points at stake, which means if you get enough points, you can go to the big world tournament and qualify for free without having to do grinders and stuff like that. So what is this match here that we're looking at?
This is Andrew Phillips. I think, did they switch mats?
I think they might. No, I think Andrew lent the other guy the map. Yeah.
Like, wait a minute, Andrew's on that side, but his mat's on that side. What's going on? No, yeah, it should be Andrew and
Leonardo.
Is it Leonardo?
Leonardo.
I think that's who he's against.
I wrote down Leo, but
yeah, Leonardo. Yeah, that's who it is. Okay, I wasn't sure because I knew it was Leo, or Andrew, but I couldn't tell who the other person's arms were for a second. But yeah.
All right, so let's get started and go. We'll cover whatever the heck they're doing as we go along.
Can we like Gangnam Style?
No. All right, so Phillips is gonna. I'm gonna call him Phillips just because I like calling him Phillips. His name's Andrew Phillips. He's got a mulligan. Is he playing Empoleon? I see water.
He saw some water, yeah. He is playing Empoleon.
Yeah. I mean, when you see water, yeah, when you see water, you assume it's gonna be either Empoleon or a Blastoise. Leo, if I remember correctly, is playing Genesect Virizion, which is pretty much right now with the new format. It's a pretty good deck. It's pretty solid. It's one of the few that has a guaranteed catcher effect left in the deck using that red signal ability. And I think people who are following our videos will remember Kyle was playing Genesect Virizion against Sam's Goth Magnezone from the previous video, so they'll have an idea of how that deck goes. But
yeah,
Empoleon is one of those decks that got a lot better with the recent changes, namely being able to leave a bench sitter in Dusknoir that people can't catch her up, and with eggs in the format, you basically get free Diving Draw. Diving Draw is Empoleon's ability, which lets you discard a card from your hand and draw 2 cards. And then Execute has the Propagate ability, which, when it's in the discard, can go right back to your hand. So you just kind of go, I will Diving Draw, and then Diving Draw, and then Diving Draw, and then Diving Draw, and get free cards all the time.
I always love the one Empoleon Diving Draw into rare candy another Empoleon Diving Draw into more stuff.
Yeah, back in
the beach, right?
Well, back in the day, people who remember Magnezone Prime was able, with the Magnetic Draw ability, draw until your hand has 6 cards again, right? Yep. Just use Magnetic Draw a whole bunch of cards, get another Magnezone, Magnetic Draw, and do that again. When Empoleon came out, people were like, well, maybe we can do it there, but they're like, oh, 2 cards is kind of weak, especially when you have to sacrifice 1 card out of your hand to do it. But Execute makes it so much stronger and so much better.
Yeah, so you pretty much had some pretty low-key, I would say, maybe turns happening.
Yeah, well, just first turn, I think. I think Andrew went first. He charms the Virizion, which reduces incoming damage by 20 for the next turn. He's got a Mr. Mime on the bench to prevent snipe damage. And Mr. Mime is another bench sitter that just got a lot better. I mean, people were playing him before the catcher nerf happened. Yeah. So alright, back to Andrew's action. Leo just gets an energy down on the Virizion and benches a Genesect off to the N that happened there. And he didn't play a draw supporter, so either he has a really strong hand or a really weak hand. And he has a lot of cards in his hand, so I would assume he has a really strong hand. Unless his entire hand is energies, but yeah.
Or like 4 junipers and 4 plasma. Who knows? Right?
Yeah. I would assume his hand is decent. Like when you have a big hand and you're not playing a draw supporter, you would assume the guy has a decent hand. It's only when he has like a few cards in his hand that you're like, okay, then he's probably got a weak hand. Like 3 cards or less, then he's probably got a bad hand.
Yeah, it looks like we scouted for a rare candy there, so it looks like Andrew's going for the rare candy Empoleon.
Are people messing with the camera?
Who is?
I don't know. I just saw somebody like waving their hand in front of the camera, so I thought
Oh,
they're.
probably. It happens. Because I'm always not always sitting right next to it, right? Sometimes people just come by and they're like, yeah, it's me. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so Rare Candy skips the Primplup, goes straight to Empoleon, them drugs. Gonna diving draw away the switch and benches a Horsey. Okay, so this is a tech. This is something that I don't really see that often. Ooh, wow! He throws away the Dusknoir as well.
Yeah.
Off that, I'm assuming that's probably because he runs 202 Dusknoir or something like that. So
yeah.
yeah,
a
but
lot of super rods, I'm guessing, with Empoleon too. So.
I'll be honest, I actually played against Andrew yesterday at not the real League Challenge, but a pseudo League Challenge at Connection Games. I beat him, of course.
Of course.
Of course. No, it was a tough game. That Kingdra, I can see what he was doing with that Horsey. So basically, Horsey evolves into Kingdra, which is a Dragon type. And it helps against the Blastoise matchup because the Blastoise main attacker is Black Kyurem, which is also a Dragon type, and Dragon is weak to Dragon, which makes the Kingdra really, really powerful because it attacks for using only one energy. And it also has additional benefits of being able to snipe, as well as being able to recover energy back into your deck, because the Water Vortex attack on Kingdra does damage based on how many water is in your discard, and then shuffles all that water into your deck again, so he won't deck out. He won't have issues with that if he can get the Kingdra up with one energy.
Oh, it shuffles it back in, or is that the?
It shuffles it back in. Yeah. Yeah. It basically. Yeah, it does shuffle it back in, and so basically, with Empoleon doing those diving draws and like throwing away stuff all the time, you run the risk of decking out, because if you have all 4 Empoleons out, you can diving draw and get 8 cards every single turn, plus the 1 card you get at the start of the turn. So you can draw 9 cards in a single turn, possibly. So you can go through your deck really, really fast. So it's actually really good to have a contingency plan to shuffle more cards back into your deck and prevent that from happening.
Yeah, it's also really good in those few people who just decide to play Raybor, you know.
True.
Kingdra just kind of starts whooping people.
Yeah, yeah. So it's good against the Rayquaza, because Rayquaza is also Dragon type, and it's good against the Black Kyurem, which is probably the bigger threat in my mind. I still feel like Blastoise versus Emboar. I still feel like Blastoise is better overall. I mean, type doesn't really matter because their main attackers are both Dragon types, but it just feels like Blastoise has the extra edge in the most matchups, and. So it looks like Leo gets a pretty standard second turn here, gets down a second Grass Energy on the Virizion, and does the Emerald Slash, and puts 2 Grass Energies onto the Genesect. And again, doesn't play a draw supporter, which probably means at this point, bad hand.
Have one, yeah.
Yeah, it has to mean he's got a bad hand. So Andrew's probably not going to play an N, not going to let Leo get out of that ditch that he's in.
Then Andrew decided to play a Super Rod, so, and like we were saying earlier, right, yeah, if that Dusknoir was in there, so either he does run a 202 and just wanted that extra one for security, or it is a 1-1 or 101 and he needs it.
Yeah,
so
most Empoleons run like 2 Super Rods anyway, so he has a pretty good chance to recover that anyways. Fills up his bench. Empoleon does 10 damage for every Pokemon in play, so filling up your own bench is very important, especially if you're attacking into Virizion, which has a -20 resistance to water. So Andrew's going to do 80 -20, so that's 60 damage only, and it's going to take a long time for him to knock that Genesect out.
That's okay. He's going to have a Dusknoir. Just move it off.
Yep. Being able to move damage around is going to be really handy for him. He does remove the 50 damage from the Emerald Slash using the Max Potion, so that means Genesect doesn't get that free 100 to kill the Empoleon. He has to either 2-shot the Empoleon or get a G booster down and lose energies and lose a little bit of momentum in order to do a 1-shot. But with the Primplup right in the middle of that pack, it means that Andrew's probably going to get a second Empoleon up pretty easily. Yeah. Leo's thinking really hard, and his bench is really bare mainly because of Empoleon's attack, so he doesn't want to put extra Pokemon down unless he absolutely needs it in this regard.
Third energy.
Did we see Empoleon when we were doing the tournament coverage for before? I think we might have seen an Empoleon deck.
Pedro was.
Right. Yeah. And then it was against that Mewtwo Ho-Oh deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we did see things go. So okay, red signal coming up. Yeah. What is he gonna go for?
Colorless Machine or no? That's from the hand.
No, that's from the hand.
Yeah. So yeah, he is red signal.
Yeah. So I'm gonna. I would say he would probably go for the Duskull.
Yeah.
Duskull or the Mime. Probably the Mime actually. So then he can start sniping again.
Depends on what else
No, it's gonna go for the Prinplup. Okay, gonna go for the attackers. Completely wrong in all regards.
Clearly, yeah.
Clearly, I know exactly how this game goes. Okay, so interesting. He's gonna take the knockout, get rid of an attacker, but instead of going after the text. So, but the problem is that Andrew's gonna be swinging back for 70, and there's already 100 damage on the field. Oh, and there's a Silver Mirror. Yes, Genesect is a Team Plasma Pokemon, which means the Silver Mirror will prevent any damage done to it.
And that's actually even more terrifying for Leonardo right now, just because we obviously don't know exactly what's in his hand. He could have a Tool Scrapper, but he hasn't been playing any supporters, so there's a good chance he doesn't.
Yeah. And we're playing, and this League Challenge is a single game matches after all too. So, yeah, I mean Leo needs a Tool Scrapper or he needs a G Booster. G Booster ignores the effects on the Pokemon, so it ignores the mirror. And there is exactly enough damage on the field for Andrew to get the knockout. He needs the Dusknoir. He can't do it without the Dusknoir.
Yeah.
I'm getting ahead of myself here. So he's gonna Ultra Ball for it.
Yeah.
Just put it down on the bench or in the middle. Just pretend it's a natural Pokemon. Things happen naturally. Oh, there's a rare candy. How does Pokemon evolution work? There you go.
Yeah, it looked like he was putting the Duskull on top of the Dusknoir for a second.
And he's going to move damage up and get the KO. Yeah, there he goes. Yeah, Genesect, as we remembered from last week, if you guys remember your lessons from last week, it's got 170 HP, so doing 70 damage to it, and Genesect does not have the water resistance that Virizion has, so it takes the full 70 to the face. Super Rod goes down. Virizion decks, of course, run a lot of Super Rod, so that Emerald Slash is always good.
Yep.
It's gonna grab 2 Grass Energy and a Genesect. Pretty much the only things he can grab.
Yeah. A lot of thought about that, though.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you gotta think. Yeah.
Thinker's gonna think.
Yeah.
And yeah, so he's gonna get that, and maybe he's gonna draw support for once, or maybe he's just shuffling the deck to try to just go away, bad hand.
Interesting though, we still haven't seen the egg come out on Andrew's side, so he actually does have to turf stuff if he wants to diving draw at this point.
Drops down another Virizion, and that's actually really bad. Has to manually attach. Oh, it's gonna laser though. Ooh, look at all those cards that he could have played before, and only chooses to play them now. Interesting.
Yeah.
I can understand not benching the Virizion earlier.
Mhm.
And the fact that he benches it now means that he has no easy way to get another one out, or another Pokemon out that he actually wants. But hey, doing 50 is not bad, and trying to get rid of this Empoleon is going to be a huge thing, especially since it's got that mirror on it. And now
Tails for sleep.
Oh, now Andrew plays the N, and Leo puts that single card in his hand, shuffles it, and is going to draw an easy 5 cards back up. So he's going to get a big plus. But Andrew wants to get these attacks off because I think he wants to play for the long game.
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of stuff does Andrew need right here? He needs like a full heal. I don't know.
He also balled, I think, when his horse used to a Seadra down there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Seadra.
Yeah, he needs like a switch. He runs switches in his deck. I know that much. And looks like he might go for the Kingdra and then switch and use the Kingdra to attack, maybe?
He evolved to Seadra this turn.
Oh, okay, so he can't. So he's just gonna have to pass. Okay, just passes back over, unfortunately.
Roll for sleep, Andrew. Roll for sleep.
It doesn't matter. It's gonna die anyways.
Yeah, I know.
He's pretty much resigned to the fact. He's like, you know what? Just don't wake up.
Yeah.
Just shh. Just
sweet
sleep.
Empoleon.
Sleep, sweet Empoleon. So bad.
Oh, goodness. Oh, Skylight.
Skylight comes down. Interesting. Plasma Ball.
That's what I was just supposed to say. It could be Team Plasma Ball for a Genesect. Or a supporter if he has no other. Oh, I see an Ultra Ball.
Yeah, I
coming.
see him tagging the Ultra Ball. Does he not run Plasma Balls? I can see that too.
I haven't seen any, so I mean, it could be just because of the Virizion, right? It might just not waste space, just go for all Ultra Ball instead.
Yeah. Ultra Ball has the benefit of being able to search for any Pokemon card, but you have to throw 2 cards out of your hand for it. Whereas Team Plasma Ball, you play it for free, but you can only get Team Plasma Pokemons, and Leo's deck only has the Genesect as a Team Plasma Pokemon. But Emerald Slash is going to finish him off, and 2 more energies going down onto the Genesect. So Leo's got a bunch of attackers, and Andrew has half an attacker ready to go.
And no more diving draws.
No more diving draws available, yeah, so that's going to be rough for Andrew.
Yeah. I see a Super Rod in his hand.
I see nothing.
Maybe it's a Skyla. Very different cards.
Yeah, the thing about Empoleon decks is that because the diving draw is so powerful, a lot of people run a lot fewer draw supporters in their deck, and that's pretty much the norm because you want to fit more tech into your deck, and once you have those diving draws, you really don't need those draw supports. But the problem is, until you get the Empoleon up, you're going to be in dire straits. You're going to have a hard time getting those Empoleons back up if you don't have them down already.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of a catch-22 in that regard.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, so he level balled and then Skylit for an Ultra Ball, tossing something and a Colress.
He's going to play the Colress, I think.
Kingdra. Oh, playing the Colress.
He's playing the
another Colress.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's throwing a lot of stuff away.
Yeah.
But at this point, he needs to get some kind of attack going. I think Leo's counting the water energies to see how much damage Kingdra is doing with the Water Vortex attack. And he's probably going to read the card too, just to see what it does, because Kingdra's not a card you normally see in competitive format currently. It's a bit of an odd tech. I remember I was playing on the PCGGO recently, and somebody was playing like a whole bunch of new cards, and I'm just like, Turno, and this Pokemon, and that Pokemon. I'm like, I don't know anything. I don't know what any of these cards do.
Yeah, I have opponents mulligan. I like right-click their cards. I'm like, what is that? Oh, okay. Other card, right-click. They're like mulliganing 3 times. I'm still clicking their first hand. Being like, what are these cards?
What are you trying to do?
Yeah, what is this?
Mm-hmm. Oh, a second mirror comes. Yeah, okay. And the nice thing about Kingdra attacking the Virizion here with Water Vortex is that Virizion does not resist its attack since Kingdra is a Dragon type.
Yep.
It's going to start getting energies down. Now let's see, Andrew's played quite a few rare candies already, I think.
Yeah, and he turfed one for the Ultra Ball too. So.
Okay, so he's probably got 1 left in his deck max. He did manually evolve. No, actually no, the Primplub never became an Empoleon. So yeah, he manually evolved the Kingdra, so he's played 2 so far and threw 1 away, so he's got 1 left. So he could get 1 more fast Empoleon, but the next one he'll have to manually evolve slowly.
He went for Tri-Bullet.
Tri-Bullet. Maybe there wasn't enough water in a discard to get a KO. And with Dusknoir, Tri-Bullet is actually a ridiculous amount of damage for 1 energy, because 90 damage on the field means you can put that 90 damage anywhere else.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which means next turn all I have to do is move all 90 to 1, Tri-Bullet again. And
yeah. And he can choose who he wants to kill too, which is the nice thing. Leo again wants to know how much water energy. There's quite a few actually.
So what, 5 in there?
Yeah, about 5.
5 or 6?
Yeah, and I think it does 20 per, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's 100 damage. So that is definitely enough to get a knockout on anything just by moving damage around using Dusknoir's Sinister Hand ability. It's just like, I'll heal you with 1 hand, and I'll hurt you with the other hand. Can you imagine like a Dusknoir deck versus a Renewniclus deck? It's like one guy's moving damage to try to kill things, and the other guy's moving damage trying to not get things dead.
Yeah.
Just like damage flying around all over the place.
Yeah. So pretty much every turn you would take away 10 damage every Pokemon you have on the field essentially, and then Dusknoir would just be moving it back, because the only way for it to counter that would essentially to be doing more than like however many Pokemon you have.
Yeah.
Because it's 10 per Pokemon. Yes, yeah, Renewniclus was reprinted, right? So back in the format.
cards back in the format, such as
Yeah.
Goth. Surprisingly, not too many Goth decks coming out.
Yeah. It's interesting though. I do like Sam's build. It's interesting. He said he doesn't like it. I was talking to him about it. He says he doesn't.
I mean, I would rather just do
I
a
think it's-
straight up Guardy Goth myself,
Yeah.
and just use Goth as the attacker.
Yeah.
All right, that'd be me. That would be my choice. Just straight up Guardy Goth probably, but yeah.
I thought about Goth back in the day, but I could never run it because I only had one. So not really enough. A 301 tech, yeah. Ooh. It would scare them. That's all that matters, right? Just run like one Gothitelle and just mulligan with it, or one.
Well, that's what people used to talk about. Is just like have one Oddish in your deck and just play it down on the bench to force them to capture it. Just to scare them for a bit and buy yourself like a turn.
And then you just twins to victory.
Oh, I remember Twins. Twins was a very good supporter card.
Twins is so good.
People purposely shooting themselves in the foot early on just to abuse the power of Twins.
Can you imagine 6 feet under with Twins? Oh, that'd be so good.
Oh yeah. That would be interesting. Twins is a great comeback card. Basically, it's your supporter per turn, but you can look for 2 cards in your deck if you are behind in prizes. That is a Tornadus, a regular Tornadus actually. We haven't seen those in a long time.
The energy wheel, I think is his attack. That was called. He moves an energy.
Yeah. I can't remember. Energy Hurricane, something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's like move 1 energy from this Pokemon to another Pokemon.
Yeah, it does 100 damage and moves one of the energies on it to a different Pokemon, allowing you to set up another Pokemon while you're attacking. So if Tornadus goes down, you're all A-okay. And a lot of decks are running non-EX attackers because of things like
Not Silvermere, but
Safeguard.
Bangle as well, and Safeguard. Yeah.
And Bangles as well, just to avoid the Bangle as well. So I wonder if he's going to do the 50 here and then rotate over to the Tornadus later to do the attack. He's got a lot of energies down on his field. He might not have that many more left in his deck. He's going to attach to the Genesect. He's going to keep his energy spread out, which is probably a smart thing to do, just to avoid...
that way he's not overcommitted to one Pokemon if it gets killed with Dusknoir,
Yeah. It's going to do the 50, and it's going to put 2 more energies probably on the Tornadus. That's a lot of energies on the field. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 9 energies already. He's probably got at least 2 in his discard.
And
so
both energies have to be on the same Pokemon.
Yes. Yeah. So that's like 9 energies on the field on Leo's side, which is a lot. I mean, he has a lot of attackers ready to go, and he's probably got 2 in his discard. That's pretty much probably all the energies in his deck. Maybe just 1 more. I think the 2 plasmas would be it. I think. So N comes down, and I don't know. Andrew's probably looking for the rare candy Empoleon at this point. That would be the only thing he can use. And maybe another Kingdra if he runs a second Kingdra.
Yeah.
But in terms of prizes taken, Andrew is in the lead.
It's like Dowsing Machine, Water Energy, Tool Scrapper, and something.
Oh, you got a better eye than I do. I hardly saw anything.
Yeah. I'm used to certain arts that I see all the time. But
oh yeah, with all the new art in the with all the reprints and the new art in Legendary Treasures, I'm like I look at stuff and I'm like I don't know what that does.
yeah.
I mean like the
cute.
new Piplup is really cute.
I know,
with the
it's
charm
so
ability.
cute. Got the little bubbles. I was like, aww.
Actually, recently on Kotaku they had they printed the Pig Knight and Embor line thing, the Pig Knight, and then they show like the kid growing up with the Pokemon kind of thing, and they're like the feels, and then people started putting up all this other ones. So they had the Natu and the Buffalant one, and they had one where it was the Trubbish, and then the Pheonix saying hi to the Trubbish, and then when you go to the Empoleon, like the bad Empoleon, the Trubbish is riding on top of the Empoleon, and Pheonix is swimming along with them. So that's another story one that I totally miss actually.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I love how they like carry the story among the art and everything. Like, that's so cool. Is it usually by the same artist though? I'm assuming. Right?
Oh yeah, because they're all the same art style as well.
Yeah.
So they probably just like asked the artist to do 3, and I mean, I used to do some of the art commission stuff too. right? Where I would ask people to do certain things. So, like, sometimes the guy will have an idea for what the card want to see. Sometimes they won't, and they'll ask the artist to do whatever interpretation. More often than not, then there's like an idea of what they want them to do, and then the artist will draw like sketches, and then the commissioner would pick a couple of them for them to draw out. Yeah. It's a very back and forth method. Alright, so damage placed down, and looks like it's a water vortex attack to get the knockout on the Virizion. So here comes the Tornadus. Yes? No? Maybe so. Does he have an energy in his hand? He does. So he's going to push out the Tornadus. All these Pokemons have one retreat, which means if Leo is running a Sky Arrow, it would be actually pretty good. And just like that, Andrew's actually down to his last 2 prizes, so he just needs to get one more KO on an EX. Another reason why Leo is probably pushing up the Tornadus is because he doesn't want to give up 2 prizes to an EX.
And I think one of the prizes Andrew just got was a rare candy.
Oh, okay.
So.
That'd be big damage coming down.
And he does still have that dowsing machine in hand, so if he has a dowsing machine for whatever he needs to get that Empoleon out too, then I think does that enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Well, if he gets knocked out here, it'll be 4v4, so that's 80 damage coming down.
Yeah,
plus the 60 on the field, that's
60.
not enough.
That's not enough, yeah.
Yeah. But he'll probably get 2 swings in, provided that Leo doesn't place down a G booster. So as long as Andrew can get 2 attacks off, he can probably get his last prize before Leo can draw 5 prizes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And thus the advantage of non-EX attackers. Energy switch. Oh, okay, so he had energy switch in his hand. He's gonna move that one over. Yeah. Like I predicted, it seems like Leo is pretty much out of energy. He might red signal if he has a plasma in hand. Okay, floatstone. Interesting. He's planning to end or something, maybe? I don't understand why you would play down a floatstone unless you are going to do something crazy, but okay. Oh, just so he can... I don't know. I have no idea.
Maybe it's just so that he gets ends.
Yeah, so he's playing out his hand, but I think Andrew's played like 3 ends already.
Yeah, and he turfed a couple too near the beginning when Leo didn't have anything.
Yeah.
So he's turfing a couple.
Well, Andrew's in a bind here. He needs to... okay, he needs to get this Empoleon. He's thinking about it, thinking, well...
The cards, though?
I don't think he's got the cards for it. He might retreat and just lose
that dowsing machine, so we'll see. I wonder if that's what he's debating.
He probably... Oh, he's got a Juniper?
Juniper.
Throws away... Oh my gosh, that's all the things that he has.
Was that a full art N? Oh, okay, so it wasn't a dowsing machine.
Okay.
It's a full art, whatever that is.
He's got the Empoleon in his hand, another Piplup. So Piplup comes down. But yeah, he'll need a dowsing machine in order to get the Empoleon. So he's gonna retreat into the mine. No, he's gonna retreat into the... Is that a Seadra or is that a Horsey? Or is
Maybe he's going for whatever Horsey's attack is. Bubba!
Scrapper!
Scrapper just because.
Why not? Well, maybe he's just doing 10... If he can do 20 damage, that's actually enough for him to do a KO the turn after.
Yep.
So if Horsey can do 20 damage, that's all he needs. Didn't he already attach an energy this turn? Yeah, he totally attached an energy.
Yeah, he did to Horsey.
Andrew?
Tisk,
tisk. Tisk does get 20 damage, that's all he needs. That's
well,
all?
if he doesn't attach an energy next turn, or if he doesn't get ends, then it would be kind of like just putting the energy on Piplup. So we'll see if it made a difference. Yeah. But there's the other Piplup. Piplup.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't make a difference because all he needed was that one energy. Red Signal is going to pull up. Oh, the Dust Snore. Okay, G Booster. Oh no, Laser.
Laser.
But he still needs G Booster. Yeah.
And short. Yeah.
But he does put Andrew in a very, very bad spot because he can't retreat that Dust Snore without a switch.
Actually, that's pretty much an escape rope catcher play.
Energy switch, maybe? Does he have the G booster? Thinking about it. Gonna try to get another attack off with Tornadus, maybe? Attack with Tornadus, maybe? Have they called time yet? Andrew's asking right now.
Yeah.
Did they call time in Master?
Yeah, because we were off on the far corner here.
Yeah,
So here's some calls calling time. Oh, I think they pointed. I wonder if he was 2-0 now. Yeah, he's like.
So they had to call time, and I have no idea what we are. So when time is called, you get 3 more turns. Whoever's person's turn it currently was when time was called is turn 0, and at the end of turn 3, whoever has taken more prizes wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if they're tied, then whoever takes the next prize wins.
Yeah, because Buck wasn't able to.
Does that knock it out?
No, I didn't think so.
Does...
Is it only 130?
Oh, it might be 130. I thought it was 140, but you know what? It actually might be 130 now that I think of it.
Yeah. I thought it was 142, but I guess that's Empoleon, right? I guess
Yeah.
Dusknoir's probably only 130.
Okay.
I'll double check for us here.
I'm pretty sure it's 130.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm pretty sure. And it's 130, yeah.
Yep. Okay. So that puts a
and
big hinder on
Yeah.
his play. Yeah. Because there's that extra 50 damage that Andrew would really like it if it weren't there. And even if Leo had turn 1, that still allows him to catch up on his final turn on prizes, if he can get a knockout. And he does probably have 1 more plasma. We have 1 more plasma that we yet to see him play. He's also got Shadow Triads probably in his deck that he can pull plasmas out of his discard in order to use to get that catcher effect.
Yep.
Andrew actually, I wonder if the egg's his prize, because I haven't seen it the entire game.
Yeah, that's why I thought too.
Oh, dumps the Kingdra for the diving draw. Oh well. It was nice knowing you, pal. Does attach another energy, so he has up 1 energy in attachments.
Oh, jeez. Yep, he's +1 energy.
Yep. It's gonna do the mass attack for 80, I think.
80.
Yeah, 80 damage. That puts it at 110. Still needs to do.
Still have not seen a G booster though at all on the other side, so I don't know where it is.
It might be prized.
Yep. Yeah, it's interesting if we could figure out where they are in time.
Yeah.
Just to figure out.
So they're calling a judge right now,
Yeah.
and if this is, so if Andrew was turn 2, then Leo's going to be turn 3. At the end of Leo's turn, if he can't get a knockout, then that's the end of the game.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So what?
Go Phil. Go Judge Phil.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
besides, you guys
Yeah,
keep
that
going
was
to
Phil.
the-
He bumped you. Oh, sorry. It's okay. I was sitting over near them, I think, at this point. Yeah, I was sitting over there.
So Leo does need to get a red signal play right here, but then that means Andrew will get the return KO if he does a red signal play. Unless he does a G booster play.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we spent an hour this morning trying to download the new
Is Genesect 1 retreat cost?
Yes. Everything
Yeah.
in his deck is 1 retreat cost. It's
So just
ridiculous.
booster and then retreat. You should just not, instead of Burbank, just play, Skyrim. It's valuable.
Mix and match the stadiums. Why not? Why not play both?
Why not? So that if you're like, I don't really want this to be here, kick it off.
Mm-hmm.
No problem.
Culver's Machine. Gonna see if the energy is in his deck. He's probably gonna fail search this because he doesn't want to
Attach it.
attach it. Yeah, but he just wants to make sure it's in his deck, so he might play a draw support to get it. Unless he's going for a G booster, which might be prize at this point.
Yeah.
But in either case, he has 2 outs. He's got the G booster out. He's got the plasma energy. He's also got Shadow Triad out. But if he has to draw support for it, then the Shadow Triad is out of the question.
Yep.
Juniper. Yes. No. Yes.
Maybe so. Huh?
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 Play Juniper maybe. It's gonna
Maybe.
bench. Oh.
Oh.
Deoxai. Oh,
You know what he
laser.
used to do is
Lasers.
put out more Pokemon, and I bet he's wishing he had Champion Festival right now.
Lasers will help right now.
Yep.
Yeah, so that Deoxy gives him the out for lasers, because then Deoxy makes it so that Genesect's attacking for 110, and the laser will get the extra 30 damage to hit 140. Magic numbers.
He needs one of, like, 3 cards.
Oh, there's the plasma energy.
One of the 3.
He was holding it in his hand. It was in his hand the whole time. What a guy. What a guy. Is he using it? He's probably gonna use it and then retreat into the fresh Genesect and attack. so that there's no return KO in question.
Yeah, and then he can just. Yeah, then all you have to do, right, is just attach or use one laser. So I guess. Yes.
He still needs the laser, but he might have played all his lasers at this point. Who knows? All his super soakers.
Maybe he's got a triad in there somewhere. He still hasn't played a supporter, right? So.
Yeah, he could play one right now if he wants to. He's just thinking out. He's planning out all his KOs ahead of time right now.
Yep.
Thinking carefully. Oh, he's gonna pull out the mime. Okay.
He's gonna snipe the Empoleon. Does it only hit for 20?
Yeah, it only hits for 20, but the snipe doesn't come into effect.
On there too.
Well, the snipe doesn't. Yeah, snipe doesn't come into effect until mime is off the field. So this KO does not get a snipe.
Always curious about. Yeah, if it counted as mime was being killed. Okay.
Yeah. As he's going down, he's like, no, reaches out and just like.
Oh, I can't protect you. The barrier breaks.
Just one more deflection. Pting,
yeah.
Threw himself into the line of fire in order to protect his fellow teammates.
Mr. President.
The Emperor Empoleon.
Yep. He's kind of like the court jester, right, of Empoleon's court.
Yeah, I mean, there's the Emperor Empoleon, and then there's Kingdra in his thing, and then there's Dusknor, which I assume is a priest.
Sure.
He's the bishop.
Priest, dark priest.
End comes down, so that's going to put Andrew down to 2 cards. So it makes life a little bit more difficult for Andrew. Andrew really wishing he could get a second Dusknor up at this point. But yeah, props to Leo. Plays very carefully throughout this whole matchup.
Yeah.
Not too sure exactly what he's going to be looking for at this point. I think he just wanted to reduce Andrew's hands because he's kind of got the upper hand in this case. Maybe. He's going to pay the retreat. What do I want to retreat with?
Yeah.
Probably the plasma energy. I don't see why you keep the plasma energy when you can't red signal anymore.
Yeah.
He's got plenty of grass energy in his discard for him to super rod, so. Feels like he has a laser in his hand, the way he's touching his cards. Oh, max potion? Okay. Is he afraid of a magical catcher flip?
Yeah, yeah.
It's gonna do the knockout.
Way, I run one catcher.
By the way, I run one catcher for times like this. Wow!
Exactly. Who knows, maybe he gets the Kingdra and goes for like 2 tri-bullets and kills it somehow. And, well, there could be some magicalness.
Gets the super rod.
Yep.
How many super rods does he play? It's like feels like it's been 3. Oh, there's a magical Cobalion looking into the camera right now. Jasmine just pulled out this stuffy. Props to Ricky. Ricky the Gal. Playing lots of Pokemon these days. He won the League Challenge down in the States on Saturday.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Nobody treated him to dinner. He didn't treat anybody to dinner afterwards. No victory dinner, really. Well, they had dinner, but it was kind of a sordid affair.
Yeah. All I remember about eating after going to play stuff in the States is pretty much just pick somewhere, and you pretty much like crawl in, you just like eat, and you're just so tired.
You just grab the food and rub it over your face. You're just like, yep, food.
Yeah. I was eating like, whatever
Juniper.
I'm gonna eat, just put it in a blender.
Alright, so level ball for Jirachi. I think he diving drew into the level ball for the Jirachi, and using the Jirachi's ability, Stellar Guidance, to get a Juniper out of his deck. He's gonna grab a bunch of cards. Got 2 cards left in his deck. Hey, second Mr. Mime. Oh no, I think he super rotted that back in. Never mind.
Ayo.
Ayo. And so, but that Jirachi is very tempting. The second energy on. He's still 1 energy up.
Maybe it's for Kingdra's attack.
It's for N.
Yeah, he's still 1 energy up, I guess, right?
Right.
Yep. This is why matches get filmed, you know. You just catch the little things.
You catch the little things. I catch the little things. No, I mean, like when the world thing is being played, both judges totally miss the double attach. Ugh.
Everyone else is like, "What's going?"
No, I don't think cause I asked everybody next to me. Oh, there it is.
There it is. Oops,
yeah, that's the game. And he has the Shadow Tribe. Let me show you all these things I have.
And he went for draw cheat.
I don't know why he was slow rolling there. He had everything he needed. So very close game.
That one extra energy didn't seem to matter. So
Nope,
that's
not so much. But yeah, very slow and careful play by Leo there. Definitely gave him the win over this, but it was a very close match. And Andrew definitely played a very strong game there. Just couldn't get his things streaming the way he wanted to. X was prized probably the entire time.
Boys.
Yeah. Alright, stay tuned guys. We're going to get another match for you guys, and then probably get 2 more matches from this same tournament. Alright, bye-bye.